Do you realize there are more than 6 local breweries, wineries, and distilleries in the KC area? And what about all the unique bars and nightclubs that are fun to go to? Every Friday night, we're going to take you along for the ride as we check out the latest local hotspots. We're calling it Friday Night Flights. And our first stop takes us to a really cool place called Torn Label Brewery.
All right, so this is our brewery. We're a 15-barrel brewery. What that means is we brew about 465 gallons at a time. So what you see right here on your left, those tanks are roughly 500 gallons, and that's where we make the beer.
Travis Moore's official title is Master Brewer. Just don't call him that.
That's not my favorite title. I don't like to pretend I'm a master of anything. I'm the guy in charge of the beers.
I like that, the guy in charge of the beers. I love that. He's the guy in charge of the beers.
Nestled in the Studios Inc. building at 17th and Campbell Street in the Crossroads District, Torn Label Brewing has seen steady growth in each of its 4 years in business.
We do about 2,000 barrels a year all through this facility.
Okay, 2,000 barrels a year. That's a lot of beer.
It's a lot when you compare it to, a brew pub or a small tavern. It's very little when you compare it to, say, what Boulevard does.
And Moore says they're not trying to be the next Boulevard. They're comfortable being a small brewery willing to take chances, which explains the name of the beer they're about to release.
So that's Leap of Faith. This is a beer that we're releasing for our 4th anniversary on Saturday. It was actually one of the first beers we brewed before we even had the brewery, and the name just kind of came because the entire idea of the brewery was a leap of faith. We really had no idea what was to come and how much of a huge mistake we might be making.
Co-owners Rafi Chaudhry and Travis Moore are local guys who grew up here but took different paths to making beer. Travis is a lawyer. Rafi was an independent filmmaker in LA.
You went to school to become a lawyer.
I did, yes, and somehow I wound up here.
I'd say you got lucky.
I did all right. I'm not complaining at all.
On a busy day, they'll can 8,000 of their unique hop-forward beers. What doesn't get canned goes straight into a keg. Their brand and their style are getting noticed.
That's really cool for us too when somebody's coming in from Minneapolis or Denver or Oregon or wherever, and they heard about us because somebody said that we're doing good brews out here and they made an effort to track us down. That's one of the best things we can hear.
Now to the best part of Friday Night Flights, the taste test in Torn Label's tap room. They've poured their special release of Leap of Faith.
Let's taste.
Cheers.
That's not bitter at all. I really, the citrus part is what I'm picking up.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's one that I feel like is just really a kind of a breakfast fruit aroma bomb. I get the guava, melon, tangerine peel, grapefruit. It's just a kind of classic breakfast fruit salad sort of aroma to it.
Okay, so if you have a favorite brewery or bar you'd like to see featured on Friday Night Flights, hit me up on Twitter. You'll find me at BradKCTV5. Gary, by the way, that was absolutely delicious. And I mentioned it didn't taste bitter because before I took a sip, we were talking about how some people have a misconception that IPA-style beers can have a bitter edge. And as you know, Gary, times have changed. Yesterday's IPA tastes nothing like today's IPAs. They're so good.
It doesn't. They've come a long ways, that's for sure. I love IPAs.